Welcome to Pixel Composer 1.16.7. This version coming with a few new nodes and a bunch of node improvement and bug fixes, so let's get through it. So the first new node is the smear node, which is a filter node that will smear or extend out the bright pixel or the opaque pixel to create a smear effect. We also have the VFX triangulate node, which will draw triangle or connecting the line between each of the VFX particle. We have the new byte input-output nodes, which allow you to read and write a file directly into a buffer data. And for Patreon supporters, we have the new flow noise node, which will create a flow-like noise. It's gonna look like a fluid movement, but it doesn't use fluid simulation in the background, which allows it to run really quickly. And for the input node, the node that read input from a file, there's also a new file watcher, so that all of these nodes will refresh automatically when there's a change in those files, which will make it easier for you to work with other applications. And for other node improvements, we have the scatter node. Now get the positional shift property, so allow you to move the object position randomly, and the exact property, which will round the position into the nearest pixel to make the rendering more pixel perfect. The canvas node also got a pen pressure setting, which will allow you to use pen pressure to control the brush size. Its update also comes with a bunch of bug fixes when you use a pen tablet with Pixel Composer as well. The non-uniform blur now got a gradient blending, so that you can apply blending into each blur step. Can create some interesting effect. The text file in now support every file type, so you can open every file extension. I will try to read it as a string. Now be careful when some of the binary file type that doesn't encode as a text, it can cause error to the software. The draw text node also got the line width properties, which will make the node cut multiple line text automatically based on the width that you set. The composite node also got support for different blend mode and opacity. So in the new user interface here in the inspector, you will see that you can expand each surface and then set the blend mode and opacity there. The directional blur got the single direction toggle, so instead of just blur out in both directions, it will only blur out in one. The normal node also got more control over the smoothness value. So instead of just a toggle, it is now a slider or value that you can set how smooth you want the normal to be. The glow node also got improvement. Instead of using blurring to add in blur effect, it now uses pixel distance, so that the blur effect will be a little bit more pixel perfect. The HSV combine node now have alpha channel input, and both the RGB HSV combine extract node, so 4 nodes at once, have an option to use array of surfaces as input and output. And the diffuse node got some internal rework to make the result look a little bit better, especially with larger surface. Next would be the user interface improvement. The add node dialog now remember the page you are, so that when you close the dialog, whether by adding node or just clicking it out, then you right click again, it will just automatically go to where you are the last time. You can disable this behavior in the preference, it is on by default. And the inspector panel also have the dropping target for global attribute, so the global dimension here can now be set by dragging out the values from the graph panel directly over the attribute. And here we have a series of bug fixes. There's quite a bit this time. It's been a while since the last update, and one of the reasons that it takes a lot of time for this update to come out is that I'm working on Pixel Composer website, so you can check it out now at pixel-composer.com. There's also a documentation that I'm writing. There are over 500 pages I have to fill in, and I'm not even nearly finished yet. There are a bunch of notes, a bunch of pages that are still empty. So it's gonna take a while before I fill in all of the documentation. It's an ongoing thing, just like the software itself. Every update, add new node, add new feature, I will have to make sure to update the documentation as well. The next thing that also happened to me is that I'm moving to a new place. So if you follow me in other social media, you may know that we just bought a new house. An actual permanent house this time, and I'll just move all my stuff, setting up all my new place and stuff like that. So it's been a little bit busy, but I think I just said now all the setup is kind of ready and improved. As you might notice, my voice might sound different. It's the same microphone, but the room is different. The noise situation is a lot better now, so I don't have to use like some AI enhanced thing to like improve my voice, I hope. And now that I set up, I think that I will be able to come back and work on Pixel Composer, and the next update should not take this long anymore. But yeah, here is some update on my life and the development of the software. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.